In the last episode of the Smallman series, we created the two-star cornerback Elijah Smallman and played through his senior year of high school. And despite the fact he started out as a two-star, Elijah was able to ball out his senior year and make it all the way to a four-star. Not only that, but he also racked up a stupid amount of offers along the way. The season was now over and commitment day was coming up. Elijah hadn't made up his mind on where to further his education in his football career, but he would have to make that decision soon. Yo, what's good, my boy?
It's good, bro. What you been on?
Shit, not much. Just getting ready for college ball. They just not taking notice of me.
That's because your ass used to be ass. But I ain't gonna lie, you nice now.
Yeah, I can't even disagree with that one.
Tell me where you going to college. I ain't gonna tell nobody.
You just gonna have to wait till I pick my hat, bro. You gonna have to wait. Can't get that out yet.
Damn, I was trying to get the inside scoop, but I'll be there for sure.
Bet. Hey, where you trying to go eat though?
Waffle House.
While looking at schools this one last time, Elijah had to seriously weigh his options. His scholarship bonus and getting to play early really mattered to him, and he didn't want to settle for less. Keeping these things in mind, he landed on the top three of Missouri, Washington, and SMU. And you might have noticed that he didn't even have an offer from Washington, yet they were still in his top three.
Why?
Well, that's because Washington had two seniors that were leaving. And Elijah was certain that if he did go there, earning a scholarship and getting play time would be no problem. With this out the way, it was on to the next step. But right before this major decision, we need to pick Elijah's mental ability. And to me, Legion is the best one, giving him composure anytime he or another DB gets a pass breakup or interception. Now back to the action. Missouri was the obvious choice. They had offered him the best scholarship, along with the starting job. And after packing his bags, Elijah was off to Missouri. Upon his arrival to campus, he's immediately messaged by his coach, letting Elijah know he'll have to balance a lot of different things, like leadership, being a student athlete, practice, playing well in the game, keeping the coaching staff happy, and making good decisions off the field.
Damn!
Yeah, there was a lot to manage, but Elijah wouldn't back down from the challenge, especially if he wanted to play at least, because coach kept it real and let him know he could easily get demoted if he didn't. Elijah was excited. It was time to start his college journey. Wait. Does that say cornerback 5?
Oh no, this can't be.
Damn, I guess Elijah got finessed a little bit. He wasn't cornerback 1 yet, but he also hadn't spent any skill points. So, with the 17 points from the scholarship, along with the 50 from the pre-order bonus, yes, of course, I left it on, Elijah was now an 87 overall with gold blanket coverage, gold jammer, and bronze house call. And even though he was number 5 on the depth chart right now, he was rated higher than everyone above him. It would only be a matter of time before he was cornerback 1. In the next week, Elijah would be contacted by his advisor, and she tells him some important things regarding his academics. He definitely kept everything she said in mind, but that was far from the highlight of his week. Elijah had a battle for cornerback 4, and of course, Elijah absolutely cooked this dude in every single drill and took his spot. And who knows, maybe he would even get in the next game. Now, against a bum opponent like this, Elijah's hopes of getting in the game started off really strong. But they quickly faded as FCS Southeast managed to keep this game close. Like, really? A 48 overall team? To me, that just doesn't make any sense. The coaches weren't prepared to risk their aura by losing to this team, so they kept the starters in, and we barely get the win. Elijah's college football journey was off to a slow start. He was consistently outperforming his teammates at practice, yet he wasn't seeing the field on game days. This cycle would continue for weeks. It was until week 5 came around. It was time to battle for cornerback 2. And what do you know? As soon as Elijah had a chance to make a major move in the depth chart, the Huz are texting him. Aubrey wanted Elijah to skip his lab and go to her initiation party. Man, Elijah wanted to skip his lab and slide to that function so bad, but he was about to start. He couldn't risk that. Elijah's been waiting for this since he got to Missouri. He still tried to get the ad though, but unfortunately, she never hit him back. He even went as far as to triple text her, but she wasn't fucking with it. Now she avoids Elijah in class, but you know what? It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Y'all see it. Elijah won the job to become a starter and was finally promised some playing time. His first game wouldn't be a walk in the park though, as his team would face number 25 ranked Georgia. Now, being cornerback too, you would think Elijah would be in the game pretty much every play, right? But you would be mistaken. And I'm not gonna lie, he didn't make the best plays, but if you're gonna promote Elijah, you can't sit him on the bench the same game that you promoted him. He literally didn't play the majority of the second half, and Georgia just ends up running up the score on us, and that was all for this game. After being humbled in the last game, Elijah thought there was a chance Coach might demote him. But to his surprise, Coach gave his ass the number one spot, and he couldn't complain about it. And after winning his position battle and becoming the absolute starter, he was ready for his next game against Texas. Now, this game was exciting. Texas was not afraid to pass the ball. In fact, they were doing it often. Elijah was getting a lot of man reps in, and he was shutting his man down, not allowing very many catches. Shoot, he was rarely even being targeted, until about 2 minutes before half, when Arch Manning decided to test him. And yeah, he played it perfect and just flat out dropped it. But he was able to stop the drive at least. In the very next defensive drive, Elijah's defense was able to get to the quarterback in the end zone and force a safety. Now, right before half, Texas was down 12-10, so they decided they should take another shot at Elijah, and it was nearly picked off again. He should have made Texas pay for trying him, but nevertheless, everyone on Missouri was playing great, and it was shaping up to be one hell of a game. The second half would prove even harder to score for both teams, as only Texas would score with under 4 minutes left, and it was just a field goal. And with the 2-minute warning closing in, Elijah and his defense needed to get the ball back before it was too late. They were able to stop them and just barely managed to get it back to their offense. Will the Missouri offense be able to capitalize on what could be their last offensive drive of the game? Yes, they get a field goal. Now all Elijah had to do was get a stop. And what happens the first play of this drive? He gets beat over top. Luckily, he was able to make the tackle and not let him get too many yards. Texas was starting to march down the field, and it wasn't looking good for Missouri. But in the last few moments, game on the line, the ball was picked off by another DB, and the game was sealed.